Welcome aboard, everybody. Holy crap, it's Friday. Welcome to the show. This is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am your host, Scott Steen, a lead handicapper at WhinersandWhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over WhinersandWhiners.com.
And together we do this each and every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. Good to have you guys here. David Good in the hizzy. What up, David? How's the weather in Arizona? Hot enough for you? I don't even know what it is. I'm assuming it's 1,000,000 degrees out there. Happy Friday to you, Joan. Absolutely. TGIF. How'd your Thursday go, Scott? Hit another big parlay?
I'm not quite. I had a couple of pretty large straight bets, though. I ended up losing with the Raptors. That was just funny. So sorry if you tailed me there.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
It was close for a half. But I ended up giving out the Mavericks a couple days ago, -1.5, and they won by 2. Now, I had a personal play on that at around +1.5, and that made me a decent amount of money. I wouldn't say fully loaded up on Dallas, but I was pretty heavily invested in Dallas. And on top of that, I had a draft play. I had the Jets to take a cornerback with their first pick at +285. They took Sauce Gardner, so that was a nice winner too. Overall, had a very nice day.
Very nice. Very nice.
How's yours?
It was okay. It was okay. I had a my favorite play was the center to go under 28.5.
Went to Baltimore, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What pick was he? Like 25 or something?
Yeah, at worst. Lindenbaum, is that his name? Because I love that. It was under 29.5, and the first thing you had to know was 29 and 30 were going to be the Chiefs. So you're really getting it under 31.5. So I love that play. I think Creed Humphrey showed the need for a good center, and I loved him in the first round. I thought that was free money. I was surprised that Sauce went after Stingley. That all that heat on Stingley in the last minute seemed to be justified. Scott, did that surprise you, or did you believe the heat there?
I believe the steam, personally. The thing about steam is that it really depends on what team you're looking at. But when you need help at every position, like Houston does, and one guy is getting a lot of random heat right before the draft,
right?
I tend to believe it because they don't have a clear need, because every position's a position of need.
Yep.
So it just comes down to which guy they like the most at that point. Now, I would have taken Gardner first. I think that Stingley is a very solid prospect. He just can't stay healthy.
Right.
And I have question marks about drafting guys that can't stay healthy. But I did a FanDuel draft predictor or whatever thing for the top 10 picks. I got the first 4 right. After that, went right downhill. In fact, I was a bit annoyed because I had the Giants taking Neal at 5 and Thibodeau at 7. They took Thibodeau at 5 and Neal at 7. So that was really annoying. But other than that, though, I turned a free entry into 40 cents. Feels great.
Nice.
Feels great.
At that rate, man, you can stop doing the show here sometime in the next century. So
that's an ROI of infinity because I didn't spend any money.
That's right. We'll say hi to some guys in the comment section. JC Stone in the house. What's up, JC? Peter Wolf checking in. David Good, by the way, says the temperature in Phoenix is warm.
Okay.
Good to know.
How warm is it? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You want to, by the way, before we actually get into I know you're about to say something, but before we get into
I'm always about to say something.
Segments, do you want to recap our thoughts on the first round before the segments or after the segments? Because I know we probably have Allie coming on in like 20 minutes, right?
That's right. That's right. I always forget Allie coming on Friday. So
yeah.
You want to recap the draft with Allie?
We can. So I was asking if you had a preference on what you wanted to do.
Let's save it for the guest, because she'll probably want to talk about it, because since the draft was in Vegas and everything. So
she doesn't want to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. I'll tell you that much.
I guarantee you that is correct. Mike L in the house. Mikey Loaf. 80 going to golf soon. Man, take advantage of golfing in the middle of the day in Arizona when you can. That's all I know about Arizona, because if you want to play golf in the summer in Arizona, you better get up at 5 a.m. It's all going to happen. That's what's going to happen right there. So we'll talk about the draft a little later. We do want to touch on a couple housekeeping issues, of course, because we do host a YouTube show / podcast. We ask you to like and subscribe, because you haven't learned that by now.
Mm-hmm. On the 30th listen, maybe you'll realize there's a like button there, I
always do wonder about that. The people that listen every day, like, oh, fuck, I guess I should finally like and subscribe. So we know you guys do a great job. This is mainly just for all the new folks. Make sure you smash that like button. We appreciate the feedback. And, of course, I actually don't like that they disabled the down button. I like to know when we screw.
Well, do they disable it, or you just cannot see how many dislikes there are anymore? I thought you could still downvote. You just don't see the amount, which I think is stupid.
Well, I've got administrative rights here with our YouTube channel. I should check that out because I haven't noticed that, because I can always tell when I screwed something up on my personal video, because I'd get like 15 downvotes. I'm like, oh God, what did I misspeak about today? And it was usually like a starting pitcher was wrong or something. So very good. No one plays golf in the PM. 2 hours to finish, baby.
By the way, there is a dislike button. It just doesn't tell you the number. It is there.
Oh yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know what the point of it is anymore. I thought the whole point of a downvote was so you let other people know that you're not happy about either the quality of the content or something. But now you can't see it.
Right. So we can't make any adjustments, man. That's what I don't know.
I don't know. The only adjustment you can make is the comment section, but I mean, who reads those? Am I right?
No. Well, yeah.
Well, you have to. I'm joking.
I do.
Yeah.
I know you don't, but I do.
I do sometimes.
David says like playing Swope Park. If you ever come to Kansas City, you play golf, you should play Swope Memorial. It's a beautiful course, very hilly, a lot of fun, very old style. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channels, both the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel. We've done well there. We've got over 14,000 subscribers. Appreciate it. Max Wagers Network, a little slow getting started, so we'd appreciate it very, very, very much if you would take a minute, go to YouTube, Max Wagers Network, smash the subscribe button, click the bell, get notified every time we put up brand new videos, because at some point, it's going to be the only spot you can catch us live. We thought it was going to be this week. Not going to be this week. It will be at some point in the fairly near future. And of course, we're coming down to the very end of the DraftKings promotion. It expires May 1st. If you are a baseball fan, or if you're a fan of money, if you have DraftKings in your state, you should open up an account and make sure that you make at least a $5 bet on Major League Baseball on the money line. If you win, you receive $200 in bonus money there at your in your account, and you can bet as you see fit. Of course, it is available only in the states where DraftKings is. Not going to read the list. It's about 12 of them. You know who you are. And there is a promo code. It is WAW Video, WAWVIDEO. And the link is in the show description. Scott, I know we're working with Caesars here, at least through the end of the month. What do they got going on?
So they have a risk-free bet up to $1,100. So if you have not made an account on Caesars, I'd recommend you doing so, because your first bet, if you bet $1,100 or less and you lose, you get a free bet if it loses. So consider that a money-back guarantee if your first sports bet with Caesars does not work out.
All right, very good. What can't we find? You can't.
Your YouTube video for the night.
Really?
It says it's still in draft. Do you want me to post that for you?
Yes, please do.
Okay, I got you.
I had it scheduled. My bad, guys. Spoiler alert, it is fading the Royals. I am taking the Yankees on the run line tonight against the Royals.
I'm posting it now anyway, so you're fine.
All right, Scott, people talking about this Minnesota-Memphis game this evening, Game 6. It's a must-win for the Timberwolves. Got to have it. How's that working for you?
Well, you got Scott Foster at the game, so you can interpret that how you want. By the way, Scott's YouTube video is officially posted, so there you go. Besides,
I have to click 3 different things, so apparently I only clicked 2 of them. Sorry, guys.
All good. It's fine. Now it's there, so if you want to find it, it's there. But
I'm gonna get a call. I'm gonna get a call from management later today. Like, why'd your video only get 20 views?
It's better late than never. The thing about this series is I hate both teams. I wanted to like Memphis because I thought that Minnesota's the team I thought they were. I thought they were just a young team that makes a bunch of stupid decisions and would probably lose the series. And we're approaching that conclusion. The issue is, if you go by common sense, Minnesota should be up 4-1. They should be into the next round already.
How they played, yes.
They keep punting every lead. So it also depends if there's a protest at the game or not, because Minnesota's undefeated in protest games.
Oh, the fucking chicken people.
The chicken people, man.
Let it go. Come on.
I don't even know does the third one count as a protest if she got tackled before she could actually protest?
No. I mean, it counts as stupidity.
I think if I was going to take Minnesota in this game, I would take the first half of the first quarter, because I don't trust this team over a 48. But over 40 minutes, they're pretty good. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be exactly right. Let me ask this hypothetical, Scott. Would you run onto the court knowing you're going to be arrested for a game 7 of your favorite team to sit in like in the first or second row? Would you pay that price?
Do my clothes get to stay on, or am I a full-on streaker?
No, you don't have to streak or anything. You can just run onto the court and hold up a sign or something that says "Stop eating chicken" or fucking
I'm
whatever
assuming
it is.
like it's about. See, they're competing with Chick-fil-A. They're competing with the cow, right? The Eat More Chicken cow.
Yes, they who have terrible still can't learn how to spell.
They can't spell to save their damn lives.
No.
But I wouldn't really be a guy that would get on the court. But what's the punishment for that? I know you get detained for probably like a day.
It's usually like misdemeanor.
Are you banned from the arena?
Yes, almost certainly a lifetime ban.
Okay.
And they
I
have
like to go to games.
They have
so.
facial recognition now. Maybe do it at an away game.
Okay, that's an option.
You come to Texas, they hate you there anyway. So, David said, "I love barbecue chicken." Yeah. Lex said, "What's with the chicken?" Lex, they're protesting this one particular guy. It's the owner of the Timberwolves, and he has chicken farms. And nearly as I could tell from the statement, the one chick that she was holding up, it's something about the doors that the chickens go into. They're somehow inhumane or in poultry. I guess you can't be.
Long story short, they're accusing him of torturing chickens.
Yes, not just killing them. I guess that's fine, but you can't have them running into the doors. It's some kind of funky thing with the door. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I don't know what they're about. They don't let them. They don't give them much bandwidth, Scott. They don't really let them want to make a point. What just happened? Wants to know Bain over 21, Morant over 28. No and yes. I don't think they both get there.
I think if I was going to take Bain, I wouldn't take the points. I would just take the 3-point shots because the majority of his points come from 3 anyway. So if you can get a 3-point number around 3.5, something like that, I'd probably take that instead.
Yep.
Because I think we would agree that Bain should keyword, at least 8 threes, maybe more. He's been shooting it insanely well, but that's where most of his points come from. So you don't have to worry about free throws or anything like that because Bain's not a guy who gets to the line a lot. He does sometimes, but mostly threes. I would probably take that prop instead. As for Morant, he had a really good fourth quarter. I don't know if that's going to transition into game 6, but do you think he turned a corner in the series, or do you think he just had a moment there?
I'm hoping that he turned the corner, but I'm suspecting he just had a moment. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I like Minnesota in this game tonight. I do. I think they finally learn how to finish. You know, hopefully from pain comes knowledge. Sometimes you got to go through some things to learn some things. So I'm hoping that pays off in the game here tonight. David wants to know if barbecuing chicken is torture. Not the way I do it. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Free range chicken are given the life. One open door. Oh yeah, there's a lot of the bullshit like that. The free range and it used to be organic. They've gotten a little better, but a lot of that labeling shit, it's bullshit. So
according to JC Stone, chickens prefer to be waterboarded than barbecued. I believe that. I can see that.
Yeah, but you can't trust the information you get out of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they freak out. They lie. So
well, if you torture them enough, they'll tell you anything.
That's right, but it's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Let's talk about what happened yesterday, shall we? And by the way, we tell you over there the Max Wagers Network. It's got a great lineup. Of course, it's noon with Sean Higgs. It's plus Money Honey, Allie Burns doing Morning Wood. It's Chris and I, and then it's me and Scott. It's Sean Miller, great soccer guy, by the way, having a great first week. Make sure you check him out right after our show, and then wrap it up with Game Time Decision with Detroit Lenny, Nick, and Tim, the Earl brothers. Steven Adams. He should protest his chicken shit play.
Do you think he's on the court tonight? I highly doubt it.
I hope that Steven Adams spends as much time on the court as the protesters do, which is none.
The thing is that Adams
that same security guard tackles his ass if he tries to come in after a timeout.
The thing is that Adams is actually going to have a decent role in the next series against Golden State. As for Minnesota, though, he can't be on the court. But you can throw Steven Adams against Kevon Looney for 20 minutes and you'll do pretty well.
Right. Agreed. Padres money line versus the Pirates. Yes, we talked about that earlier. How about first quarter?
I think we're going to get to that game in a little bit too.
Okay. Oh, absolutely true. First quarter over 56 in the Grizzlies game.
The first quarters have been pretty high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm going to lean to the over as well. We've seen the games end up well under the posted total, or at least partly under the posted total. That's mostly because of some slow second quarters and third quarters and some fourths in there. First quarter has been pretty high scoring, though. 56 does sound a bit low.
What just happens is how did the chicken thing get started? Because that's what the girls were protesting, that the one of them got tackled at the game, and then they did an earlier protest.
With the glue and the whatever.
Was it where she glued herself to the floor or tried to glue her hand to the floor? It was all about the chickens. That's how the chicken thing got started.
Yeah, so she used crazy glue. Then the other woman used some handcuffs and hooked herself to the basketball hoop, which really was bad planning because now she has to buy another pair for the bedroom. So that's going to be a whole separate can of worms. But yeah, there you go. But overall, whatever. The protesters are going to do the thing.
Can you imagine meeting one of those girls at the bar and you take them home and all they want to talk about is chicken? They just want to talk about the torture of the chickens.
They just stay up at night like a poster of a chicken. Like chicken, a chicken, a little movie poster, and they're just bowing to the poster.
Speaking of choking the chicken, I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm leaving. So enjoy your barbecue chicken.
BZ, I do like Brandon Clark over 14.5. He's been their second best player in the series. Of course, when it comes to overall impact, people will say Ja. I think Ja's had an awful series. He had a really good fourth quarter last game, a really nice dunk, and he got to the free throw line about 30 times in game one. But I think he's been pretty underwhelming, and defensively, Ja's been a mess. Bane's been their best player. Yeah. Bane has been insane from the three-point line, so he's been great. Clark, I think, should play more, especially with Jaren Jackson's foul issue. Torvik's mentioning double-double at plus 800 on Triple J. I don't mind it if he stays healthy and if he stays active and not on the bench because of fouls. But I don't mind the value there. Do I think he's going to get into foul trouble again? Yes. So I think Clark should play a lot, even if Jackson doesn't get into foul trouble, because Clark has been their best offensive rebounder in the entire series.
All right, there you go. Hey, let's take care of business here before the chicks stop by, shall we? Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Talk about the good news, the bad news, the winners, the whiners, the people that took it in the shorts, and the people that took it to the bank. It's time to close out the week with the Friday edition of, what is it, Scott? You know what it is. It's time to call the cops. All right, very good. Hey, let's start rolling in the NBA. If you had the Pelicans +3 up against the Suns, good first half, led by 10 at halftime. Outscored by 16 in the second half. Sorry, Pelicans. So close, yet so far. They lose by 6.
And looking at the Jazz +1.5 against the Mavericks, kind of a similar story. You had a home team with a double-digit lead in the first half. They led by 12 at halftime at home. Outscored by 14 points in the second half. Had a wide-open 3 to win the game. Boyan missed it. They lost by 2.
Clang. There you go.
That was a hell of a play call out of the timeout, though.
Was
you can't get a better look than that.
A beautiful look at it. And if you had the Pirates on the money line, what the fuck's the matter with you? Stop doing that. Against the Brewers, you were excited. You're getting a nice price. They led 2-0 heading into the 9th inning. All you got to do is find a closer. Can anybody close for the Pirates?
They used Stratton. I didn't even realize he was the option to close on that team. Wasn't he a starter for a couple of years? He was
Monty Stratton?
Chris Stratton, I think. Isn't it Chris? I think.
Yes. Monty Stratton shot himself with a shot.
I know who that is too.
You know who Monty Stratton is? Do you really?
I actually do, but I thought Chris was the one, but
yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Anyway, Milwaukee did what Milwaukee does. They scored 3 runs. That's about what they usually score in a game. And that's what they scored yesterday. They saved it till the 9th inning, though. Put up 3 in the top of the 9th. Pirates, can they mount a comeback in the bottom of the 9th? They cannot. They lose 3-2. Sorry, call the cops.
Yeah, bad baseball teams continue to find ways to lose games.
Yes, they do. That's what they do. Not just talking about the Royals either. Now, there were some nice, easy wins, and I got a feeling we're not going to like one side of this.
I had to include it.
No, you have to. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a rocket chair. and we had our feet and hands underneath the rocking chair, and every time they rocked, they got smashed. Let's find out who it was, who had those nice easy wins, who was kicking back, not sweating a damn thing. It's Thursday night. Relax. Spend your time in the rocking chair.
So the first one was in baseball. If you had the under 8 between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, you had 1 run in the 3rd inning, and that was it. The game ended 1-0.
Congratulations. If you had the 76ers team total under 105.5, what the fuck were you thinking?
See, it was weird because it was like I had a sense there, like a spidey sense, where I asked you right before I gave it, do you want to flip it at the last second? We trusted our research. We shouldn't have, because Utah team total under cashed easily. The other one did not.
Did not. If you had the over 105.5 with the 76ers, they scored 62 points in the first half, and we're sitting thinking, man, we're really going to need a miracle in the second half. We did not get one, as they scored 70 in the second half. I'm guessing Nick Nurse came in the locker room and said, whatever you guys are doing defensively, just fucking keep doing it.
Yeah.
They ended up with 132. That may be the worst beat we've ever had on a Bet the Farm play.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But the last one, if you had the under.
Burn the hats.
Yeah, it wasn't good. If you had the under 210.5 between the Mavericks and the Jazz, neither team reached 100 points, and the game landed 194.
There you go. There you go, buddy. Let's talk about this, because this is such a great performance, and we haven't done one in a while. We haven't got to hear our favorite sound effect. Let's find out who it is, Scott. There was one yesterday that definitely stood out head and shoulders. Top 5 point guard. He's a top 5 point guard. God damn. So you need to be kicked off of Twitter, for Jesus Christ.
Bob Cousy my ass. That's all I'm saying.
He's on the logo. He's on the logo.
Who?
Bob Cousy.
No, he's not.
The hell he's not. That's Bob Cousy, the NBA logo.
That's Jerry West.
No, it's not. It's Bob Cousy.
I'm pretty sure it's Jerry West.
All right, here we go. Let's find out who it was last night. CP3, gambling hero of the day.
Just confirmed, by the way, it's Jerry West.
All right, Scott. So you have been on the CP3 train. He had a fantastic game last night. If you don't follow Scott on Twitter, God bless you. If you do, you already know this. How did he do last night, Scott? It seemed like he had a pretty good game.
He did. In Chris Paul's 7th legacy game, which is more than anybody else in the history of basketball, because every important game feels like a legacy game for Chris Paul for some reason. He went 14 for 14 from the floor. And he went 4 for 4 from the foul line. He didn't miss a shot. He had 33 points, and he led the Suns to a 6-point win, which is significant because the Suns were 3-point road favorites.
Even made a 3-pointer. That's how you know he was hot.
He went under 1.5, though. So that cashed, but top 5 point guard, easily. It's not even a discussion. He's easily a top 5 point guard of all time.
You know what? I'm still not going to just roll over and let you have that one. But like many of your lists, they are affected by recency bias and who you've seen play. So
I don't know if Chris Paul's recency bias, just the level of consistency over a long period of time. He checks every box.
Okay. All right.
You don't think the longevity plays a factor? He's been phenomenal for what, like 7? People talk about LeBron year 17.
He's been very good. He hasn't been phenomenal. He's never been phenomenal. That's the problem.
You can make an argument he was the best point guard in the league for like a 5-period stretch in the, I'd say, mid to late 2000s. Those New Orleans teams, you can make an argument, a serious argument, that he was the best point guard in the league.
I know. We're not gonna solve this now. So I'm just going to we'll move on.
Damian, I watch both. I watch Chris Paul and I watch Jason Kidd. I'm a big Jason Kidd guy, but I'm going Chris Paul because Jason Kidd offensively wasn't exactly a consistent scorer per se. He was the master of the 11 point, 10 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. Chris Paul's a guy who can actually give you 20 or 30 on any night you really need him to. I'll go Chris Paul for the scoring upset.
Okay. And I will bow. I have really spent my entire life thinking that was Bob Cousy. So
yeah, it's 100% Jerry West.
Apologies to everybody that I did not say it was not Jerry West. By the way, Chris just texted us and said that Trevor Bauer's been suspended for 2 full seasons.
Yes.
Does he count time served?
That's a good question.
Last year, in other words, will we be able to play next year, or will we be able to play again in 24?
I got to find that out. Truth is, it should count. I don't know why it wouldn't count. He hasn't been playing, unless the argument is now he won't get paid. It says he's been suspended for 324 games. Doesn't say if it includes the stuff he's already served. I'm going to go on record for this. I think it's stupid.
It's like a prison sentence when they say it's like so many months.
I think it's stupid. I don't really get it. If he was found, so just to make sure, there were no legal charges brought against him, right?
That is correct.
So you can just suspend him for 2 years when he's facing no legal repercussions. This is the Ezekiel Elliott suspension all over again. He was rumored to have this domestic violence issue. Nothing ever came of it, and he was suspended 6 games. You're suspending him for 2 full seasons when there's no legal punishment for the guy and what he did?
I'm going to guess
2 years.
I'm going to guess if they were able to suspend him for 2 years, there was a few more things than a rumor.
I'm just saying, even if it was a few more things than a rumor, you're going to punish him harder than the legal system? That doesn't make any damn sense.
I know.
I get if you want to suspend him briefly. 2 years. You suspend him longer than the average steroid user?
I want to. Well, I mean, you know, we saw that with when what's his name was suspended for weed. You know, you saw the disparity in the quote unquote sentencing versus the suspensions for who was the NFL who just got tripped up. What's that? No, this year.
Oh, this year. I know Ricky Williams was the original pothead guy from like.
I think he has his own strain now. By the way,
that wouldn't surprise me.
I really think he does.
But yeah, I'm with Magellan.
Ricky Icky.
I'm with Magellan on this one. Based on text messages that were made public, it seems like she wanted it a certain degree of roughness.
Is it just the one time, or is there others that have come to the foreground? That's what I want to know.
I thought it was one woman, but I think
it seems like if it was just the one woman, that he's got a pretty good case.
I think he's got a good case against the one woman. So as far as I know, that was the only person that was actually involved in suing Bauer. 2 years.
Yeah.
By the way, Damon says Josh Gordon.
I really thought
that's a good guess, though.
I really thought it was this year. I thought somebody had a problem this year. I really thought there'd be either a baseball player or a football player.
No, overall, I'm not saying that Bauer's totally innocent. I don't know all the details behind it, but 2 years is absurd.
I'm not going to come in with a hot take till I know more details. So
I'm just saying, from what I've gathered so far, 2 years is ridiculous.
Okay.
You string him along for an entire year, and now you also suspend him 2 years? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Eric Nesbitt brings up an excellent topic. Said games 2, 3, and 4 are all about chess moves and adjustments. Game 5 and beyond are normally when the talent edge takes over. And in this matchup, the Grizzlies own the advantage.
Yeah, it's a shame the Nets didn't get to game 5 because the talent takes over after games 1 through 4. So that's when the Nets were really going to shine. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Memphis wins. Now, I thought Minnesota was dead to rights after they blew that massive 20-point lead. Just because mentally a young team I thought would fold.
Right.
And they responded well.
Yep.
But then they did the exact same thing again. Yep. Not to the same degree, but I mean, you're up double digits with about 7 minutes to go. You should win that game. Do you think that Minnesota brings it back, or do you think they just roll over again late in the game?
I think they have learned. That's my hope. That's my thought. I think they're at home. I really believe that they have learned enough to close it out tonight.
For me, I'm looking at Minnesota first half or first quarter.
Probably the safer play.
We've seen them get off to hot starts. Mm-hmm. The issue is sustaining that level of production and not fully imploding in the fourth quarter. I'm going to skip the fourth quarter. Just give me a fast start by the Timberwolves, which they've shown they're capable of doing.
Magellan Sports says Union Berlin live is a really solid bet. Probably the best bet of the day.
I didn't know Berlin had a union.
There you go.
Yeah.
The things you learn, huh?
First I follow a little bit
every time.
I follow a little bit of the Bundesliga, but Bayern wins every year. So it's kind of just like who's coming. It's like the Larry Bird who's coming in second place, but it's been the same case for a decade. Bayern's won the domestic league each of the last 10 years. So you start wondering why the other clubs are trying, Right.
Bronco Devil says it's so hard to beat a team 3 times, let alone 4.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off.
That's in a row, I thought. I thought that's in a row. Yeah.
Somebody asked about your feelings as a Jets fan about their draft yesterday.
Oh, we're gonna save that, I think, for when Emily comes on, but
Is she coming?
I don't know.
Is it? I sent her the link and
Truth
everything.
is, it's a pretty light sports day anyway. We have
Yeah.
one NBA game. Whoop-de-doo.
Any hockey you like? Chris and I
I
talked
gave out
about
a play
hockey.
today on hockey. I actually
Okay.
texted you about it because I assumed you were sleeping at like 3 a.m.
I was, yeah. So
I got the Bruins. I got them at plus 105. They're now around minus 125, minus 130.
ooh.
Whoever posted the line should be fired. It was one of the dumbest lines I've ever seen. Toronto is resting their best couple of guys, and Boston's playing for something. And the Bruins were underdogs. Didn't make any damn sense.
I'm going to show off my new pronunciation. Andrew Kalage. Is that closer, Andrew, by the way? It brings up a great point. It says no Middleton is going to hurt against Boston.
Yeah, I think Boston's going to win the series 6 or 7. Now Giannis is Giannis. I'm expecting a couple of really ugly games because both teams defensively are really good. Milwaukee also went nuts from 3 against Chicago because Chicago just can't guard really anybody. Truth is, Milwaukee, the first 2 games kind of concerned me, and I'm not sure if they were going to overlook Chicago early on or if maybe they needed a little bit of a wake-up call and they had it. I think Boston's going to win the Eastern Conference. So I'm going with the Celtics. Even as a Nets fan, I'm not going to place all of the blame on Brooklyn. That Boston defense for those 4 games was some of the best overall defense I've seen in several years. So I think Boston has a gear defensively, and Robert Williams barely even played, and he's one of their best defensive players. So if you bring him back, I think Boston should do a better job of stopping Milwaukee's offense than Milwaukee's defense will do against Boston's offense. So for me, I'll take Boston in a competitive 6 or 7 game series.
Okay.
You?
Yeah.
No, Middleton's brutal.
It really is, and it's going to make a hell of a difference. If that Boston team brings the same amount of defense, I just don't see how the Bucks can get past them. I'm probably going to be on the under there quite a bit as well.
I didn't know Tatum could guard like that until I saw him against Durant. That was insane.
Bronco Devil singing the blues about he lost his parlay to the Royals because the Royals whooped up on the White Sox. Sorry, buddy. You can't slow down Kyle Isbell.
Yeah, undefined. I'm going to push back a little bit. It's one thing if you don't want to say he's top 5. Does that mean it's Barkley's fault that he never won a title? It's a team sport. Plus, with all the injuries and stuff that Chris Paul's dealt with, is that his fault? I don't know.
At some point, don't good players take a role and lead their teams to championships?
You can make an argument with that, but he also went up against one of the best dynasties of all time in the Warriors from the 2000 teens. And, he got injured. They went to 7. You can make an argument if he stayed healthy, they would have won the series. But I know he got injured there. They've had injuries in the past, but it's a team sport. I hate the championship narrative. Like, I'm supposed to believe that it's this guy's problem, that he only won 1 title because LeBron showed up. Like, for example, like that, that's the guy's fault.
Bob Cousy's got a few.
What does he have, like 10?
He's got a few rings, yeah.
I mean, he had, 8 Hall of Famers on his team, and they had, what they even had back then, like 12 teams? To the Canadiens, who have 23 titles in hockey. Yeah, there were like 7 teams.
When they were the Big 6.
They're the Big 6. Like, I like that doesn't really mean anything to me. I think titles matter.
KU used to hang, I don't even know if they still do, but they had like banners from 1923 when, there was 8 teams playing college basketball and it was voted on by the writers.
Princeton football in like the 1800s, I'm sure, had a couple of titles there in the Ivy. But I understand if you want to mention as a whole, legacy building helps with titles. I think that viewing titles as an end-all be-all for rating somebody is way too common, and I hate it because there's so many levels to actually being an elite basketball player that some things title-related are out of your control.
David said the White Sox and the Royals are pretty sad.
The White Sox are sadder because the Royals, we thought, would have some fun, finish above 500 barely.
Maybe get close.
The White Sox, I like their team total under is my favorite, or win total under is my favorite play in the AL Central. But when you're projected to win the division and you're struggling this bad out of the gate, I said La Russa might get fired by the All-Star break. If they continue playing like this, he might not even make it to June.
I still think they have a little more respect for him.
I said might.
especially if they can point to injuries as being a culprit in their slide. So would this be the time to load up on the Twins? Twins to win the Central? Or is the value gone?
I don't know if there's ever any value in Minnesota because you just assume Buxton's going to get hurt again. Buxton, when healthy.
But who's going to overtake him? Royals are in second place right now, buddy.
Good for them. Look at them.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're terrible, and they're in second place. Who's going to overtake the Twins?
It would be Minnesota or nobody. Detroit has been a lot worse than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And the Guardians, they had a good hitting week, but overall, they're not a very good team either. Minnesota has been good up to this point. Is it a hot take to say when healthy, excluding pitchers, just position player guys? Buxton has to be top 5, right? When healthy?
When health, man, that's such a huge.
It's such a loaded question.
Yeah,
but when healthy, he's got to be top 5, right?
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
like he would be a guaranteed all-star year in, year out if he was healthy.
Fucking masher. Yeah, we went to see him playing in Minnesota a couple years back, and he was just a monster.
And he's one of the best fielders.
Yeah, yeah. What I learned about betting against the Royals, in fact, they are shitty, is it's not my fault. That's right. That's right, man. People. Do you have a problem betting against your favorite teams?
No, I do it all the time.
I do it as well.
I should have done it at the Nets game. That was my mistake.
Well, I agreed.
That was so obvious. I just ended up sitting there trying to be a good fan for once, and I was let down twice as hard. It was a damn shame.
Calvin says, Nasty Nestor is coming to snatch the souls of KC tonight. That's how I've got it capped. Yeah, since you guys haven't seen my video, the spoiler alert, that's what I've got.
I posted it for you, though. It's up now.
I know, but nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when the show started, nobody's seen it yet. But I've got the Yankees on the run line. They're still minus money, but I still think there's good value. What's your thoughts on Nestor Cortez?
I think he's very good. Now the length isn't always there, but I don't know if that matters anymore because most starters nowadays go 6 tops. So I don't know if you even need length anymore as a starter. But Cortez is, one word to describe him, crafty. He'll use different arm angles. He'll change velocities. He'll use a lot of movement. He's a crafty pitcher. And I like it because he makes you think about a lot of stuff that most pitchers don't. Most of the arm angle stuff. He'll do some leg kicks that are unorthodox. He'll really do anything to mess with the timing of batters, which was the Johnny Cueto special. But now that Cueto's not really, he retires, he's just not in the league anymore.
I don't know if he's hurt or if he's retired. I don't remember seeing a retirement notice.
The point is, he was the first guy that I saw, besides maybe El Duque, who would just mess around, do some shoulder shrugs, some leg kick stuff, and it's really annoying for batters. And Cortez does it pretty well, so I actually like him. I think he's pretty good.
It's tough to time him. Am I the only one?
Are you surprised more pitchers don't do that?
No.
If the whole point is to disrupt the timing, I know it might mess up your mechanics as well.
That's the problem.
But I do think that messing with the timing, especially in such a strikeout-driven league up to this point, I think definitely helps.
Well, it's almost like it kind of depends on where you grow up, because if you look at the Japanese pitchers, they've all got that stop in the middle of their delivery.
It depends on your stuff as well. If you have 99, you don't need to throw in all these wrinkles. But if your fastball's 92, whatever helps.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cueto would go full, Louis T on and stuff, and turn his head to the back and pause. And,
little shoulder shrug in there, penguin hands. Yeah,
he was entertaining to watch.
He was good.
He was certainly. He was average for us in the playoff run, but man, once the playoffs started, he made 2 fantastic starts. You gotta love the Johnny Cueto.
He was a steady number 2 for about 7 years.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
Solid 2. Bronco says they're having trouble finding the videos. I'm assuming he means my videos.
It says it was posted 28 minutes ago. So you're good.
The key is, if anybody has problems, because sometimes they show up at the front page, sometimes they don't. Go to the Winners and Whiners page and click the videos tab and just scroll until you find it. I don't know how they get ranked or placed or whatever, but sometimes they're a little harder to find. Do you guys bet on UFC cards? I do it just for fun. Scott does it seriously.
I really have not touched it recently. Not because of the fact I've been losing or anything, just the cards recently have not been great. And the fact is, knock on wood, the NBA playoffs have been really good for me. So I haven't really pivoted. But I do keep tabs on the UFC, and I bet on it all the time. So, Nicholas, every now and then I used to do a Friday video for my play of the day for the UFC. Hell, I might even have to make a separate show for UFC stuff like once a week or something, because I would cover all the cards. It's just a lot of the cards recently have not been very good.
I will host a UFC show with you just so you can roast me for pronouncing
That's the best.
pronouncing the names wrong.
Yeah.
Because I always made it a point not to do it in advance. Because if I'm doing my regular videos or we're doing a show and there's somebody with a name that I don't know, I'm going to look at it on YouTube.
It's always the Eastern European guy that kicks your ass.
Too many, it's too many too many consonants, man. I just can't do it. I can't do all the R's and C's and Z's. And apologies to Andrew, because Andrew, I went to find somebody with your last name and find the pronunciation, and I found it. So my apologies for completely butchering your name for the last week or so. That's not cool.
But to answer the UFC question, I bet on it a lot. I followed it for a long time. People have watched my UFC videos. I like to believe I'm pretty good at breaking down fights.
I, on the other hand, will watch UFC. I will look at the quick stats. I see, oh, this guy wins 27% of his fights by submission, but he wins 60 by knockout. I'm going to go knockout, or I'll play the under. That's
well, the foundation of that is similar to the foundation of what I use. I'm a method of victory guy. That's
right.
Usually how I get plus prices. And for example, you have Romanov fighting against Sherman this upcoming week, and Magellan actually just mentioned it, and he's about minus 1,800. Is the biggest favorite in the history of the UFC, but you can get him to win by knockout or submission. Knockout's plus 125, submission's 125. So you can save a bunch of money if you correctly pick the right method from a decent amount of fighters.
Or you can make a quarter unit.
So I'm saying
bet them both and make a quarter unit.
There's a lot of value when it comes to the exact method of victory market, in my personal experience.
Okay, very good. That's a solid tip. Broncos is one of my favorite things when female sportscasters mispronounce a name that everybody else. I don't know that I've seen that.
I've seen that happen a lot.
Have you? Is it necessarily females?
Not always.
I think Beth was it Beth Byers?
Could be. Yeah,
I think she's very good.
Beth Byers, Beth Mullins.
Beth Mullins. You're right. I don't know who that. Now I want to know who Beth Byers is. Probably a woman that's pissed off at me at some point in my life. That'd be my guess.
I think Bronco might be mentioning that because there have been some new female anchors at ESPN for SportsCenter, and some of their pronunciations are just completely atrocious. So I don't know if that's where Bronco's coming from. It happens not just for women; it's also some men anchors, but there have been a couple of new ones on some regular ESPN shows that clearly have never seen this person play. The funniest thing is a top 10 highlight in the top 10 countdown of tennis. It doesn't matter what gender the person is who's the anchor. They will butcher the name every time.
Yeah, we should do a combo UFC tennis show, and like 80% of the people will tune in to hear your knowledge. 20% will tune in just to hear me fuck up names.
Yeah.
That's my
It's a good combo.
You know who's not coming today?
Allie
Burns. Plus money, honey.
There's plus money for her not to be here.
It's not good. I don't know if Allie's having a tough week. I'm guessing. You think she got hammered at the draft?
Could be. Vegas doesn't have a team. She might just be drinking away the Golden Knights season.
Oh, that could be true. That could be true also. So, UFC commentators butcher the names a lot too. Oh, then I feel better.
Well, the one thing I do remember from the UFC commentary was Joe Rogan, who ended up one of the Nurmagomedov.
He's gone on to some success, hasn't he?
Not Khabib, but there was another Nurmagomedov that won a couple weeks ago. I actually had him winning by submission. I think he was against... Who the hell was he against? I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Carlisle, because Carlisle left the organization.
But it wasn't anybody named...
Whatever. The point is he beat somebody very handily. And Rogan was saying, I'm here with, whatever. And I believe instead of Nurmagomedov, he said, Nurmagomedov. And then he just walked off. It was really, really funny. I can't remember who he beat, though. It was a fighter that I don't think is very good.
Well,
I can't remember.
I have a name that's kind of weird because I have the extra H in there. And you would not believe the tortured shit that I have heard throughout, like mainly in school. I've heard like Stern, Steel. They just fucking invent sounds because the extra H is in my name. We're stupid. That's the bottom line. I think when it comes to pronouncing names, we're pretty stupid. And if you're on ESPN, by the way, I don't care if you're male, female, whatever. That's a very simple thing to do to learn how to pronounce a name. There's usually a video on YouTube with that person. There's usually somebody there. I would think at ESPN Probably somebody in the building at Bristol that knows how to pronounce that fucking name.
Well, that's one thing I actually will give props to the ATP World Tour website on tennis, which is something that every single publication should have. They have an audio button where somebody just gives you an automated pronunciation of the name.
That's handy.
That should be on everything.
Baseball Reference has it phonetically for most of them.
Just saying, either phonetically spell it out, or you just have an audio button and somebody just says Makachev or something like UFC related or whatever. That would be so helpful.
Yep, very good. All right, my friend. Well, let's get to it. We took a bit of a beat yesterday.
I had a last second moment of clarity, but we decided to stay the course.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah.
So let's get ready. Let's do it, man. It is Friday. It is time to put a stick in it. Put a stick in it? What the fuck? Put a pin in it. Whatever. Hey, for those of you that catch our NASCAR show, it's going to be pre-recorded because Sean Miller is now doing his soccer show. So it'll be up late tonight, early tomorrow morning. If you're fans of our NASCAR show, we'll be weighing in with our NASCAR opinions, which will mean absolutely nothing because this is probably the most important race that is dependent on qualifying, and we're going to be doing our video before qualifying. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. Make sure you watch qualifying. Don't make a bet before qualifying. That's what I'm going to say. All right. So let's get ready, Scott. Let's fire it up. It's Friday. It's time. Put on your good fancy overalls, the one you've been saving all week long. Put on your straw hat, climb aboard your John Deere, get your keys out, rub that lucky keychain, and get ready to bet the farm. All right, Scott. Well, we did talk briefly about how we did yesterday. We had the 76. What the fuck? Where is your hat?
Oh, sorry. Force of habit. All good.
Jesus.
All good.
Man.
I was reading up on some of the Bauer stuff. Sorry, I got distracted.
Okay. You couldn't wait for two. Okay. Anyway.
No. It's your day.
Right.
I was doing my own thing.
Let's rock and roll here, guys. Bet the farm night. This was mentioned earlier in the show. It's going to be the San Diego baseball Padres on the run line. That's available at -110 at DraftKings. San Diego, they have won 2 of their last 3 games by at least 2 runs. Pittsburgh, I don't know if you knew this or not, Scott. They're not good. They have lost 4 of their last 5.
San Diego's won each of the last 3 games.
What's that?
San Diego's won each of the last 3 games by at least 2 runs.
What did I say? 2 or 3?
Yeah, you said 2 or 3.
Sorry, last 3 in a row by at least 2. Sorry about. Pittsburgh's lost 4 of their last 5. 3 of those losses have come by at least 2 runs. Fuck you. You Darvish pitching for San Diego. He's allowed less than 2 runs in 3 of his first 4 starts this season. Hasn't ended well for him, but we think that turns around tonight because Thompson is pitching for Pittsburgh. He has not been good at all, especially his last 2 starts. 6 innings pitched total, 15 runs, 10 of them earned. He's no Chris Bubich, but he's close. We like the San Diego Padres on the run line. Nice price, -110 on DraftKings. And that's
you're also getting 9 guaranteed at bats because of the road team. You look at Darvish's overall numbers, the ERA is not great, but you go through the starts, he had 1 brutal start where he gave up 9 runs in about an inning. Every other start has been basically unhittable. So for 3 out of 4 starts, he's been great. That's why you always have to look into context, look for blow-up appearances, because the ERA makes you think that Darvish has been underwhelming this year. He's actually been really good. He just had 1 bad outing.
Yep. Especially early in the season when you see an inflated number like that, you do have to look at the granular level and see what his individual starts look like. And for us, the overwhelming feedback has been positive on Darvish, and that's what we're going to bank on tonight.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that they're playing a terrible team in the Pittsburgh Pirates is going to help as well. So
I'll
that's
give Pittsburgh props. At least they're not the Reds.
That's right. That's right. That's you're not the worst team in the Central. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to do it for the farm. That's going to do it for the show. As always, we appreciate you guys stopping by, not just today, but every day this week, every day since we've been doing it. We got a lot of regulars out there. We love talking to you guys, love doing the comment section thing. So keep it coming. Tell your friends, share us on social media, like, subscribe, rate, review if you listen to us in podcast form, all that shit. I think that covers it. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. Good luck on all your plays. Don't forget to check out our NASCAR show a little bit later tonight. And we'll be back and do this all again Monday. As Scott and I, once again, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, will be there to help guide you guys